Okay, this is the process of making something beautiful. Like, really, it's crazy how this has to happen before something becomes better.
So here is what I'm working on now. This is the countertop. I've got the old one here, and I'm using it as a template. I'm cutting the wood and filling it in to take its place. I'm just tracing it, cutting it, just to match it up exactly. Again, I'm not trying to do anything special here. Just trying to recreate what we already have. So I'm just gonna lay these out, cut them, use some biscuit joints, connect them together, and then we're gonna take care of it from there. Put the countertop back down, seal it really well, and we're gonna have a brand new countertop, much better looking than the old one. And this belongs to my countertop assistant. He left it here for me today. He's been a huge helper for me. But yeah, here we go. Well, she's starting to come together now. Got cabinet fronts on. We've got a countertop on. I won't go into detail about how I made the countertop. It would be a lengthy video. And I was up till 4 o'clock last night putting biscuit joints in and pulling it together and cutting it, doing little cutouts and all that fun stuff. But we've got a nice little pine countertop, which we've done in the past in our house, and we love how it looks and how it works, and it's super easy to maintain as long as you prep it right, and I'll get to that later. But really liking how this looks right now. Hasn't been sanded or routed or anything like that, but this is just a rough cut. But wow, what a difference now. Get rid of that old gross sink. I've got to, cut out a new hole for the sink, new faucets and all that stuff. But yeah, wow, this is going to be great.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Wow, that looks so nice.
Yeah.
Clean. Nice and clean.
Yeah, right? Yeah, it hasn't been stained or sealed or anything, but...
Oh, that's great. Is the faucet going to fit back here?
I hope so.
Oh my gosh, I don't know if it will.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I guess if it doesn't, we'll have to go more modest. But
yeah, we'll take it back. And... Well, it looks nice, huh?
I loved it. Yeah.
Little lip hanging out over here, which is good. Taking this countertop now, and I'm giving it a good little routed edge to make it a little easier to touch. It's hard to see right now, but I already did the bottom, which is actually going to be the top. Gave it a little rounded edge with the router. I'm going to do a little deeper edge here. Always wear these. So the hole has been cut for the sink, and now for the moment of truth. Let's see how this sink fits. Hopefully it will fit with no problems at all. See if I can do this with holding a phone in my hand. Alright. Sorry everybody for a close-up of the wood. And it fits. Nice and snug. Just like it's supposed to. Alright, I'm happy with that. I like how that looks. Nice handmade solid wood countertop, stainless steel sink. It's nice and light, which is key. That should be perfect. Put the faucet in the back and ready to start buttoning her up and going to the upper level here. I'm staining the countertop Puritan Pine using Minwax. And I don't know, what do you think, Anne? You liking the color?
Yeah, it's hard to tell because it's wet.
Yeah.
But yeah, nice and light.
Yeah, we wanted to go with a lighter color, not too dark. But I'm going to do this and then give it a polyurethane seal. And then the countertop will finally be done. We've got our sink cut out and we've got our faucet ready to go. Holes are all cut. It's just a matter of finalizing it and putting it all in there. So almost done with the countertop project. Here at Lowe's, picking out colors for the kitchen here. I'm not sure what we're going to do for the cabinets yet. That's going to be up to Amy. but we are going to go with this color for the walls, for the shiplap throughout. So should be good. Looking forward to it. I'm ready for the countertop to go on. So with no further ado, let's get this sucker on here. This has been a long time coming. Trying to prep everything, get paint done, get the drawers in, because to try to do this, to try to put drawers in with a countertop on will be so hard. So this has been sanded and sitting in my garage for a couple weekends, and I'm scared to death it's going to start warping soon, so I just got to get this thing on. So yeah, here we go. Let's slide her into place. Get some of these cords out of the way. Yeah, this is going to be great. Just right, just right. It's hard to see because it's dark in here, but she's all ready to go now. She's all set up. She's stained. Just going to screw her down and countertop will be on. Then we can start building up to the second level up here. So this is the new faucet we're putting in. It's got a pull down head on it. The problem with this faucet for an RV is it comes with the water lines already attached. And as you can see here, this is a 3/8 line. And if you notice the attachment that it's supposed to plug into underneath the sink, this will not fit. So you're going to need an adapter. What I bought was, this was at Lowe's. It was like $6, I guess, but it's just a compression fitting, 5/8 inch to 3/8 inch, and you just slide one end on like this, using some Teflon tape to seal it, and you take off this top piece. You don't need this. You don't need the actual compression pieces for this. This part screws right into this. Forgive my camera work here, but try to do it with one hand. I would put some Teflon tape before you do your final one, but this just slides right onto there, nice and tight, and then this goes into your RV tube. So kind of wasted a day because I didn't have one of these, and Lowe's was closed by the time I realized it. But once you get these, if you're going to plan on installing a new faucet in your RV, and the water lines are connected, so many of them look like this, and you connect the water lines to it. But some of them, if you read the box, will tell you the water lines are connected. So this little adapter will help you. So this actually didn't work. I don't know if you can see it here, but this little connector piece that I put on there, it's just it's not working properly. So I just went ahead and bought a shark bite connection. Sorry, there's a football game on. The Ravens are doing awesome. But I bought just a shark bite appliance here to connect these pieces here. So I'm just going to connect the faucet into this, and the shark bite's going to go into this hose right here, this pipe right here, and that should create a pretty good connection. So I'm going to do this for both of them. As you can see, these are just, I bought a store-bought faucet, so that's what these endings typically look like. RV-made faucets look a little different and fit better into these pipes, but if you get a store-bought one like I did from Home Depot or Lowe's, I recommend doing it this way. So we'll see how it goes. As you can see, I'm starting to make some progress here on this kitchen. The bottom part is done, the bottom half. The sink is in, the faucet is in, the drawers are done. They just haven't been put back in yet, as I've been just kind of touching it up with some paint. But the top cabinets are what's taken a long time, but it's coming together. I've got to put the flooring, I guess, whatever you want to call it, back on the bottoms to these cabinets. But as you can see, if you're ever trying to fix something like this, this is what's underneath, so you don't have to tear yours apart. I'll take a picture of it and you can kind of see what it looks like in there. This is a great little storage spot if you want to hide something, but I kind of customized this little area right here. In the old one this was solid, but I figure why waste some of this space. There was a spot down here for like a little spice rack, so when I put the top cabinet on, when you open up the door, inside will be even more cabinet space. I don't know what we'll use it for, but you know, as you know, if you own an RV, the more storage space the better, so figure why not. There's a good couple of inches there that we can use for something. But I'm hoping to finish this part soon, and then we'll start fitting this thing back together and move on. This kitchen has just been such a time killer for me, but making progress. And through the magic of cinema, the top shelves are back. I've installed the little Lazy Susan that's in there, and the shelves are back in there with some new, this one has a new bottom, this one doesn't, but kind of up to you. It's what we did. So as you can see, we've got the top shelves in now finally. A little bit of magic with caulk to get some of those lines a little more perfect, but most of the dirty work is now done, and the top shelves are up. The cabinetry is all kind of in place. I've got to do some drawer fronts and this little back wall that's in here to kind of cover up these cords, which is going to be slightly different for me because I used a thinner countertop. Like, my countertop's a little thinner than the old one, so it doesn't go all the way to the top, and I got rid of that little bread basket holder that's the typical default setup for these things, and I didn't want that, so we would rather have a deeper countertop. So I've got to customize it a little bit more. But now I'm going to work on these the cabinet doors and the drawer fronts and do that. And hopefully once those are on, then this will look a lot more finished. We're going to recycle the old fronts and put them on our remade drawers. So we went to Lowe's because typically they have, in our opinion, the better selection of like creative things. Sometimes they're a little bit more expensive than Home Depot, but it seems like they have a better selection. At least that's my opinion. But we're going with these double beaded pulls made out of satin nickel. And this is what they look like. Amy really liked this look, and I agree with her, so we're just going to go with that. They were about $4 a piece, and we're happy with it. So I'm going to stick this thing on here and see what they look like when they're done. So now we're working on the old microwave spot. So we bought a Breville convection oven. Since that oven is a little bigger than the microwave that was originally in here, there are these metal straps that are welded into this metal base here that apparently they screw together up here, and they held the old microwave in place. The problem is they're about a ½ inch too short for me to put this convection oven in, so I got to get rid of this guy. So I'm just going to use a simple metal saw here and take care of this. But we're really looking forward to having that convection oven in here. It should be a lot better than just that little microwave, because there really is no oven in this thing. And the convection oven is in. So after a little bit of little jiggling and stuff, we got her in there. But I had to put the oven in first and then put the wood in outside of it, because it's really a tight fit. It's going to hold it in, I guess, but I'm going to have to shim it in there because it's still a little bit loose. And then the old way of doing this had, your RV may have one of these kind of grills that go over the front. It's not going to work with this convection oven. So I'm just going to have to put a piece of wood across here. But now we've got ourselves an oven. Looking forward to using this. So I've got the Breville in. Pretty happy about this thing. This thing's going to be pretty sweet. So instead of a microwave, we're going with this guy. Should be able to do a lot more. And working on putting the cooktop back in finally. If you remember back, I gutted this thing and really cleaned it up really, really well, and it was a disgusting, horrible, ugly job. But it's usable shape, so there's no point spending $200 or $300 on a brand new one. If for some reason it doesn't work, or we have a propane issue or whatever, it doesn't cook well, then we're just going to buy a new one. But for now, nothing wrong with using an old one, and it's kind of easy enough to replace. These are super easy. So just make sure whenever you do this, you have your propane off, which by now you would have noticed if your propane was on. But just put this thing in here. In some cases, you may want to use yellow Teflon tape, and I would love to hear from anybody below who's an expert on this. There was never any Teflon tape here, and I've kind of read differing thoughts, so please leave a comment below if you know what it's supposed to be. But I think it's okay without the yellow Teflon. I'm going to go with it because it never had it, so just going to do it the same way I took it out. So we've got the Breville convection oven in place, and it's pretty awesome. I used it for some pizzas to test it out, and it's great. The problem is the old grill cover. So the old grill cover that used to be up here doesn't fit. So it would cover up the where the handle goes and some of the knobs. So I'm not going to be able to use it. So plan B now is I'm just going to have to put another 1x3 up here. Got to retrofit it. So it would have been a lot easier had I known this ahead of time, but alas, it's the way things are. So I'm going to cut this 1x3 so that it fits nice and snug in there. Use a Craig jig and attach it, and then put like a wood peg in there so that once it's sanded down, you'll never even know it's there. So once we do that, we can paint and finally finish this kitchen once and for all. So I moved back the convection oven and clamped in this new cut piece of wood here so that it's nice and flush. And I just used 2 little 1-inch screws here that come with that you use just specifically for these Craig jigs. And let's stick it in there. So I'm going to stop filming so I don't screw this up. And now you just do the same thing on this side. Nice and slowly ease it in there, and it should tighten that up pretty good once it joins the wood together. There they go. I don't know if you can see that. I kind of missed it there, but once the screws go in, it really pulls them tight together. And give it a good little sanding, and it looks pretty good. Sorry about the filming there. My apologies. Basically, you just put a little wood glue in here, slide this bad boy in there, and get it in there as tight as you can, and then you sand that down, and you barely wouldn't know it was there. I'm planning on painting this white, so it should be pretty much unnoticeable once it's glued in. Give it a couple minutes to dry, but just wood glue works just fine. And here is the final display for our convection oven. The new piece of wood is in. You can see the final cabinets in. Really happy with how they turned out. They look good. Again, we reused these doors, bought new handles, new hinges, and just repainted everything in a nice glossy paint. So that way we can clean it a little easier. The spice racks, which right now is storing toilet paper, this is what we did with the spice racks, and I'm really happy with this. I really like this. We put a little bungee cord behind it, connected it at the back, so it's nice and flexible. We can take something that's thick and stick it in there, and it just kind of holds it in while we're riding down the road. And then up above as well, if I move these out of the way, this is the extra storage that I put in. I didn't go to any efforts to paint the border or anything because, again, this is going to be hidden back here. But this just gives us a little bit more storage that we can use for spices, for canned goods, for cleaning supplies, whatever it might be, just to give us a little bit more room in this guy. And after a lot of work with these drawers, again, I rebuilt these from scratch. So put a brand new floor in, built these from nice New Zealand pine, and put a self-closing, what are they called? Self-closing drawer arms. I don't even know what you'd call them. I'll have to go back and edit that. But these are, nice. We're liking them, and nice and convenient. The self-closing action is nice. And then right above it is the new stove. Plan A was we were going to take the old stove, clean it up really good, and reuse it. But after doing some, trying to install it, trying to connect the propane, it wasn't working as well as I thought. I could really only get one burner to work well, and I didn't want to risk propane and dying in an explosion. So I went ahead and just bought a new one. It wasn't that much, $150 on Amazon, and added a little bit more for this glass top cover. but we've just put it in. Again, if you ever do a stove installation, make sure you check for leaks at least twice, maybe 3 times, because you don't want to make that mistake. But this is the new stovetop. Really like it. The glass comes down and forms a nice flat surface. So it you know, you can set stuff on top of it. It's a little dusty right now because I was doing some sanding around here, but really happy with the stovetop. Really like how it fits into the whole thing. Got a little bit of cleanup to do before the kitchen is completely done, but I've come a long way. So as you can see behind me, the kitchen is pretty much done. We've got the convection oven in place. The backsplash is finally done. And, you know, go back and see the video that I posted about the backsplash, showing the whole process from beginning to end. The countertop is now in, a stove top, new drawers, new cabinet fronts. Really happy with how this turned out. Really like the look of it. It looks better than the standard RV kitchen that, you know, I see everywhere. We were able to personalize it, make it our own, give a little pop of color with the blue into this, you know, mostly white environment that we've put in here. I've added an electric outlet, or at least a USB outlets there and down there as well. So there's a little bit more electric than we had before, so that we can plug a few more things in. Got rid of that ugly bread storage thing that was back there. So now we can actually, you know, have a little bit of counter space to use this kitchen the way that we need to. So if you're thinking about doing the same thing to your kitchen in your RV or your trailer or even your house, definitely go back, watch all of our videos, watch the one where we demo this thing, where we rebuild the countertops, do the backsplash, and make sure you know what you're getting into. If I had to go back and do it all over again, I don't know if I would have torn this all apart and rebuilt it from scratch. It really slowed me down and took a long time to do right. I probably wouldn't do it again the same way, but once you tear it apart, you got to rebuild it, and I'm pretty happy with what we have. I just wouldn't do it again. So I hope this has been good for you to watch. I hope this answers any of your questions. If you have any more specific questions, please post them below, and I will try to answer them as I see them. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe to 10,000 Roads. We would love to have you updated on any new videos that we post. The next project that we're probably going to be working on is some of the stuff up on the roof. We're going to redo the back bedroom, the floors here in the living room. We're doing all kinds of stuff. So lots of great videos, lots of great content for you to keep up with. And hopefully it'll inspire you to do this kind of thing if this is your this is what you enjoy doing on your weekends. It takes a lot of time. Think twice before you decide to do it. But it's been rewarding. Looking forward to getting this thing out on the road and actually using this kitchen with my family. So thanks for watching. Really appreciate your time. And can't wait to see you at the next one. Thanks.